He's doing like a really sweet little salad, a tranny salad.
I like the tranny Joey.
I like tranny Joey. He's really nice and sweet.
Now I must prepare for my reaction videos. Damn, I wish I had one of those desks with the button. Oh. I've seen some things, but I never thought I'd see this. Papa Ethan's transphobic.
H3H3, Ethan and Hila, but Ethan specifically, made a joke on Twitter that his genitalia, his penis, touched the inside of a public toilet bowl.
To me,
because of his OCD, he's gonna have to cut it off. And then he proceeded to follow it up with, "Call me Ellen." He not only did that, but with the follow-up of, "Now call me Ellen," he's insinuating that personally he sees his genitalia, specifically his penis, as an important fundamental part of being a man. So for him, if he doesn't have a penis, he's no longer a man, therefore he's a woman, and therefore he would be called Ellen. This is a personal projection of gender and sex, as perceived by Ethan. I am okay with this. If that's his personal definition of what a man is, I have no qualms with this. If that's how he as an individual feels.
My favorite YouTuber. From what I've heard, it's worse than I expected. I'm gonna need more than just these. I'm gonna need some real protection from getting triggered by this. I'm gonna need some real protection because apparently what I am to view that my Papa Ethan from H3H3 has said is tragic, and I'm going to have to put on some more protection because we always use protection here on the Call Me Laddie channel, kids. These are not enough. I'm gonna be okay, guys. I'm gonna be okay. Okay. Let me just Google what the tweet said. H3H3 tweet. Oh. This can't, I mean, this can't be the right tweet. I mean, there's got to be something more triggering than this. Let me just go into the mainframe, and I will see what I can find, the actual transphobic tweet. I'm sure it's here somewhere. It's not here. Well, I guess I don't need much protection. The tweet was, the intro may have been very dramatic, but, oh, my hair is all messy. But the tweet was that Ethan Klein, that has sparked all of this controversy, that Ethan Klein from H3H3 Productions has posted, goes as follows. "My dick just touched the inside of the toilet bowl. There is no other solution. I'm cutting my dick off. I'm Ellen now. Call me Ellen. And then another post screen capped that and just multiple times said, H3 is transphobic, 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 H3 for lots of times, exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times that they said H3 is transphobic. And I'm a bit biased here because I love my papa. I love my papa, you know, Papa, the Fupa Lord, Papa Ethan from H3H3. If you can't be asked to watch the entire 27-minute video, here's the short answer here. So first off, no, I don't think Ethan is transphobic. No, he shouldn't have to apologise. And no, I am not personally offended by this tweet. I don't necessarily get why people were so outraged, but in the rest of the video I try to at least understand reasons why they could be outraged. So enjoy. Alas, as always on my channel, I try and find two sides to this endeavour. I try and find both sides, and I try and find a midpoint between the two opinions. So let's have a look. People commented, obviously H3 is transphobic. There was a first outroar of people being like, oh, like, bitch, you transphobic. Loads of people just commenting that kind of stuff. And when I first saw this, seeing as we're looking at first impressions, when I first saw this, I thought those people were absolutely fucking redonkulous. I thought, he's literally making a joke, okay? He's making a joke. All he did is saying he was going to cut his dick off because basically he was saying that Ethan is so like OCD that his dick touched the inside of the toilet bowl, and because of like emphasis humour and going over the top with humour, which is sort of like his whole thing, he said, I'm gonna cut my dick off because of it. And then he said because he cut his dick off, he's going to be called Ellen now, sort of saying that because he's cut his dick off, he's transferring into a woman. And when I first saw this, I was like, it's just a meme joke, okay? It's like, it's not even a joke. He was just being emphasis that he was going to cut his dick off because he hated the fact that it touched the inside of the toilet bowl. So I was all on Papa Ethan's side at the beginning. I mean, now I've looked at both sides of things and I've tried to sort of move my bias for Ethan, because I love Ethan, out of the way, and I'm trying to find both sides. There are two sides. There are people that just be like, oh, you libtards, oh my god, like, how would you, ooh, you social justice warriors, like, caring about all this shit, like, what even are you? But then there's the other side who are really left, who are like, he is immediately transphobic, he hates all trannies, he absolutely hates the entire population of transgenders. Like, how dare he? So those are the two sides, but I have found a middle point, a zen zone, as you could say, and in this zen zone, where I am floating about like the great Lord Buddha, I found that there are two sides to things at this point. Some people are partially right, I think, some people aren't. I tried to find videos on both sides, like I watched Turner's video, I watched a few other YouTube's videos on the side, on other sides, and I watched videos on the other side as well where people were for him and people against him. Obviously Philip Defranco even mentioned.
And so unsurprisingly, because 98 times out of 100 times I support the person making the joke, I personally agree with Ethan here. Obviously when you put anything out in the world, you cannot control how people receive it. Right, you have the general idea of the joke, the premise of the joke, that it's an overreaction because you're so OCD, you have the intent behind it, but ultimately someone's just receiving it at face value. And how they receive that is going to be based off of their own personal life experience. But just because you are offended, that does not make you right. And I think you do a disservice to the trans community that do have very real struggles when you take an obvious joke that someone's so disgusted by a public toilet seat, because of that, they're willing to chop it off and start their life as a woman. And say that that's an attack on the trans community, that is minimizing in some way the trans experience. The trans community has to deal with very real problems. There are aggressors on many fronts, but Ethan's joke is not one of those things. I get that if you're in a vulnerable place, part of a vulnerable group, you feel constantly attacked, that you would then just see this thing that could just be another thing on the pile that you have to deal with, and so you go at it this time. But having the reaction that we saw there, that's not helping.
That people need to stop, you know, whatever. He wasn't really on any side, he was just sort of having a view where Ethan wasn't being transphobic just because he made a joke. So I looked at all these videos, and from my initial view of, wow, Ethan's done nothing wrong, I see now where he could have maybe, at least afterwards, obviously if he made that joke, he put it out there, whatever, that's done. Can't really say, you know, maybe in the future he won't make jokes like that or whatever. But the joke is out there. It was just, for me, I don't find it offensive. However, I understand where it could be slightly problematic. So he posted it on Trans Day of Visibility. So basically the day of the year for trans people, you know, there's Pride days and there's this kind of stuff. This one was Trans Day of Visibility, showing visibility for trans people. So it was sort of a big day in the trans community. And I think it's a sensitive day where people are making videos about it and people are sensitive, and a lot of people are actually coming out on this day. So it's quite a sensitive period of time. And in the political climate, being the whole trans topic, even though people may say to me now or may say in the comments, oh, stop whining about it, it's not that big of a deal, no one cares about trans people anymore, no, it's a sort of norm now. Despite that, I'm still saying that trans in the political climate is actually something that is, it's debated a lot, and or not necessarily debated, but I'm just going to say it's an iffy subject. It's still quite controversial within that. Loads of people have different views about it, have different views whether people should be provided with the care, whether people should be at certain ages, what ages, if they should be allowed care, if it counts as a mental thing that can be treated or not, or there's different things, or whether they should be allowed in certain areas, like toilets and stuff. It's definitely very controversial topic at the moment, so no matter what you post, it's going to be, oh my god, the fan in the background just turned on and I have to go turn it off. For fuck's sake. Anyway, it's going to be controversial, it's going to be politically charged, and he just happened to choose a day which was Trans Day of Visibility to make that. And first off, you can say it doesn't matter what day it's on, it's just a joke. The point in humour is just because you're offended by it doesn't mean it's politically offensive, as Ethan said in the video.
Just because you were offended by a joke doesn't mean that the joke was inherently offensive. Just because you were offended by a joke doesn't mean that the joke was inherently offensive. If you're offended by the tweet, that's fair enough. You can be offended by the tweet, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's offensive. However, I think in passing, I would have said, you know what, it's not offensive at all. Let's not even listen to the people who are saying it is. But if he just said, my dick just touched the inside of the toilet bowl, there's no other solution, I'm cutting my dick off. Okay, some people may be like, oh, that's transphobic, just the idea of cutting your dick off or whatever. But it's the fact he said, I'm Ellen now, call me Ellen. Which, basically, I know he may not have said it on purpose, but it does say that, as he said in his video, he was saying, I don't care what's in between your legs, right?
And guys, I love you. You know, genitalia dangling or not, whatever's going on between your legs, none of my business. I support you and I love you either way.
Which is then again relating gender and transgender people to their genitalia. Us trans people try not to care about what's between our legs. We try and forget what's between our legs. So it should really be what's between your ears, what's in your brain. And it's basically saying he's cutting his dick off and therefore you can call him a woman, is relating the fact that he would have no male genitalia to the fact that he's a woman. And this is also a controversial topic and some people don't agree, but I have no male genitalia and I'm not a woman. So, you know, that's the only thing, but he didn't mean that. And I know he didn't mean a whole deep thing, but it's just bad timing in the political climate on the day that it was, being Trans Visibility Day, and what he said with it being a very sensitive subject, relating the genitalia of an individual. For example, if you cut your dick off and having no dick means that you are a woman, and really bringing it all down to that is why I think some people were angry and why some people were understandably triggered by it, you know, understandably annoyed at the actual thing. However, on the other end, which also brings up, you know, issues, and he said, as I saw in Turner's video, Ethan Klein in his video said, I'll put it here.
Imagine if I got offended by every little Jew joke that I saw on the internet, which is, by the way, every single day. I wouldn't be able to get out of my bed in the morning.
He didn't want to offend anyone, but if he got offended by every little thing someone says about Jewish people online because he's Jewish, then like he just wouldn't be able to live because there's so many jokes made online about Jewish people. And I, like a lot of other people who've made videos about this, I can't speak about the Jewish community because I'm not Jewish and I don't necessarily have family that are Jewish. But even though I can't speak for the, you know, Jewish community, at the moment, yes, there's prejudice in all sorts of communities, but at the moment it's quite charged in the trans community. And I'm not saying any community is getting discriminated more than other communities, but I think in different ways, and there are communities that do get discriminated more than other communities, but I cannot obviously I don't know all the statistics for discrimination rates and proportionality, but from the experience of what I've seen online and all my research I've done, at the moment there's things like trans people can't go into the bathrooms that they identify as. Jewish people not allowed into, like, people who aren't Jewish bathrooms, is that, and also trans, possibly in America at some point, they were not allowed in the military, and it's been back and forth, and I don't even know what's happening with trans people in the military at the moment. It's definitely, it's not really a good idea, especially on the day of visibility, the day for acceptance and visibility and loving of trans people, to actually post something that, even if not intentionally, it brings out the idea to some of you, to your millions of followers, that you actually are. It brings the idea of intolerance to your followers, and it may be the slightest, subtlest thing. And honestly, I actually commented on the video as soon as I saw it, because my original view was in 100% for Ethan, and I hated, when I was watching Turner's video, I hated, and a lot of others' videos, I hated the idea of people saying bad stuff about Ethan, because honestly, I'm such a fan. But when I looked at it, I was like, you know what, there are some problematic things, and maybe if he just said, look, I'm sorry for this, actually, I mean, he doesn't even need to say sorry necessarily, I don't think, but if he just, at least acknowledged the reasons why the person could have these people could have been annoyed, and say, you know what, it was on Trans Visibility Day. I know that these communities have a lot of shit to face, and I don't want to give them any more shit, and I just want to let them know that I didn't mean anything by it. But he was quite, and I know a lot of people have been shouting at him saying he's transphobic, and Ethan was obviously getting all this stuff at him, and he made a video quite a snap response video back where he was doing his usual bubbly, sarcastic, sort of, you know, not prudish, but like brutal commentary that he usually does, joking about it, basically. But it would have been nice if he at least said at the end of the video, like, you know what, I understand why. I understand that it's a very sensitive subject, and to all the people that are offended and are, you know, I hope that you're not hurt by this, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean it to be offensive, and just because you're offended doesn't mean the joke's inherently offensive. But the things I definitely agree with him on is, yeah, the joke isn't inherently offensive, but people can find it offensive. I don't find many jokes offensive. I quite enjoy dark humour, especially when it comes to, if my friends make dark humour to me about being trans, it helps me sort of make it not too serious, make life not too serious. I can joke about it. I can joke about the fact that I'm trans. I can joke about the fact that some of my other friends of different minorities and different communities, we can have a joke about it, which makes it less serious and makes it funner. But with Ethan, it was certainly bad timing, and also he could have done a bit better in the way when he made the response video. He could have at least acknowledged the reason why it could be problematic, what he said. But inherently, like, there are a lot worse things that the trans community are thrown, like, a lot worse things we get thrown at us.
And they definitely seem like good people. In the past, they've said things that I do believe are ignorant towards the trans community.
He's doing like a really sweet little salad, a tranny salad.
I like the tranny Joey.
I like tranny Joey. He's really nice and sweet.
And actually go after people that have made some comments that are disgusting. Example, Cardi B.
Yo, if a nigga cheat on me, I'll be like, alright, I'm gonna take him out, we're gonna get drunk, I'm gonna get him all perked up and everything, we're gonna have a good time, get him super twisted, then bring a bitch around, we're gonna have a threesome. And when he wake up, he gonna be like, what the fuck? Yeah, because the bitch was a tranny. I'm be like, yup, we had a threesome with a tranny. Yup, a tranny suck your dick.
Example, Chris Brown. Example, a lot of roots embedded into the rap culture that for some reason we just seem to forget anytime they release a new song, and that's not okay.
And this isn't, if we could spend our time looking at other stuff other than just some little silly comment he didn't mean anything by, because Ethan's not inherently transphobic, and his response kind of showed that, because he responded so quickly, responded back at it. He doesn't want to be transphobic. You can just, you know, see it, but certain things could have been done better, certain things didn't need to be changed. Like, he doesn't need to say sorry for what he said, because he said it, and he's not inherently being mean to anyone. And now I'm sort of over speaking about this conversation, because I don't really know if I'm saying anything productive. I'm probably not, actually. So I'm gonna put my my cool glasses back on. I'll actually put them on properly, because these glasses on me. Put my cool shades back on for the end of the video. At the beginning, I obviously put a few little things. I haven't fully reacted to the video, but I've got a clip of just a few little clips that I thought were prominent to show you at the beginning. And please like the video, because if you don't like the video, you're transphobic, and I'm going to make a video about you being transphobic. If you don't like the video, I'm offended. But please subscribe if you want more commentary that's sort of in between. I know a lot of people love extremes. People either love people to be for or against something, but I maybe why my channel doesn't grow so fast, but I don't like that. I like to find a middle point because I don't think there is completely one side to anything. I think everything needs to be taken into consideration, and then the outcome needs to be in moderation for the greater good.
How can this be for the greater good? The greater good. Shut it!
So thank you guys for watching this little response video. I got they're not even my shades, because I wish I had these shades. They're actually Abby's shades, but I don't have them in prescription, so single tear. Yes, Nomi?
You forgot something, laddie. You utter buffoon.
I forgot something?
Yes, of course you did.
Well, I mean, knowing me, I probably would forget something. What did I forget?
Ethan tweeted another tweet in response.
Oh, he made another tweet. That's why people are all so angry. Okay. Okay, wait, what was the tweet? What did the tweet say?
Is it too late to take the joke back if I already chopped my wiener off?
He made a tweet saying, is it okay if I already cut my wiener off? And that's also why people are angry, so I thought I'd just add that in. Thank you, Nomi, for making sure that I'm correct with my evaluation. I was just finishing up and I realised that I missed that tweet out, and that's another reason, because people were saying don't be so childish. It's not a childish thing, but just thought I'd add that information in there because, you know, I'm all about making sure I'm correct, even though I'm not correct basically all of the time. So yeah, back to the video. Hashtag Ethan not guilty party.
Also, another thing, laddie, why haven't I been on the channel recently? Do I not mean anything to you?
I mean, I just thought,
you not love me?
Know, we had a different I didn't think you wanted to be part of the channel.
I haven't been on in ages.
I know I haven't let you on the channel in a while. Yes, okay, I'll let you be more of a proactive part of the channel, Nomi. Jeez.
Also, where the hell has the cereal intro gone?
Yeah, I know I haven't eaten cereal on the channel in a while.
Don't disappoint the dudes, laddie.
Yeah, okay, fine. Next video I make, I will eat cereal at the beginning of the video.
Even though the new peeps on the channel have no clue what that means.
Yes, I know the new fans aren't going to actually know what I mean by that. Basically, at the beginning of most of my videos, I used to eat cereal to start every video. It was kind of a meme that turned into a long-running thing, and I don't really like cereal that much, so it was sort of a meme that I had to do. I was forcing myself to eat cereal even when I wasn't hungry at the beginning of videos, so... yeah, I guess I'll do that again, because the old peeps on the channel who've been here for ages will know and will be excited to see the return of Nomi and the cereal. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe to the dude's niche, to the niche, y'all, so you can see more of my videos. Bye bye, my friends. Oh, little heart. Ew, I put herpes on my camera.